lieu of a surprise microphone, we have a surprise girlfriend again.
I'm back.
She's back, yo. We finna do some relationship advice. Get a snack. Get a little drink in you. Get a little caffeinated. Look at that sweater, huh? Look at that Charlie Brown looking at. Okay, here we go. My partner, 28 male, whispered, "I hate you," when he thought I, 37 male, was asleep. Do you think he means it? You know what? You know what this could be to me? You know how sometimes when you're having an imaginary conversation inside your head, and then like just a little bit of it will kind of slip out every once in a while? You ever had that?
Sure.
Not about anybody in particular. It's just like,
Sure.
you know, me having a fake argument with somebody, you know?
Oh, yeah. I'm constantly having fake arguments out loud to nobody.
Yeah. I wonder if that's what this was.
Well, to whisper it to your partner when they're sleeping, that feels I hate you feels very pointed. And what other interpretation is there?
Yeah, let's see.
Well, let's read. 37
and
28.
Me and my partner, so a little bit of a 9-year age gap there, have been together for 7 years. So since you were 21 and you were 30. Me and my partner have been together for 7 years. We've had arguments in the past and almost broke up more than once. Sounds pretty good.
Love that.
Pretty good. The arguments have calmed down and gotten less frequent over the years. So cool. We're settling in. Look, 7 years. Maybe that 7-year itch thing again. That 7 year. The relationship's getting weak. I don't know. These arguments have calmed down and gotten less frequent over the years. We had an argument today while making dinner. I put the dry pasta in the pot before putting in the boiling water from the kettle, and this got him angry. First of all, why would you do that? Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. I, so far, am on the side of your partner. No, I'm just kidding. But also, why would you do that? It doesn't make a big difference.
That seems like a mistake, because unless he doesn't know how to make pasta, this is not the point.
It's not, but as an Italian, I will focus on that.
You love to whip the Italian card out when
it
suits you.
I sure do, babe. It's the one card I get. And this is the time.
Use it or lose it.
Okay.
We're focusing on the wrong things here.
I was supposed to heat up in the water in the pot and then put the pot. Yes, you were.
This is turning into a bon appetit.
This is a cooking tutorial. He stopped talking to me the rest of the evening. Okay, let's keep going.
This is not about pasta. This is about something deeper.
This is about he thinks you're dumb.
You're incompetent.
Yeah. He went into a different room and I went to bed, and about 2 a.m. he came into the room. He thought I was sleeping and whispered, "I hate you," and walked back out.
What?
That's pretty deliberate.
That's crazy work.
That's an act of terror. That's domestic terrorism.
That's crazy.
And it's sad.
That's sad to get to that point in your relationship. It's donezo. This is donezo. If you ever get to the point where you even think that about your partner, it's a wrap.
I tried to go talk to him at around 2:30 in the morning, but he's not responding to me. He's just sitting on his iPads. He may be calmed down by tomorrow. Over Noodlegate? Over Pastagate? Did you eat it? Was the food bad?
There's so much going on here. We're missing a lot of context.
Is he Italian? Because you insult an actual Italian, like if like he's like, "This is the way my mama did it."
Italian or not, you know, enter the room when someone's asleep. I hate you.
You do if you're an Italian and your noodles were cooked wrong. He may be calmed down by tomorrow. What are your thoughts on this? I think this is
he hates you.
This is a Mario Luigi domestic dispute.
That's racist.
I'm Italian.
He does not. He has what's the word? Contempt.
Yes.
For him.
Yes. Contempt is the relationship ender.
Contempt. He doesn't like him. Doesn't respect him.
Yeah.
If something like you making pasta wrong brings him to this level of hatred, I don't understand why these two people are together.
Yeah, contempt is like one of those things where I think like the number one indication of a relationship ending by therapists, they say that if you roll your eyes at your partner, that is a sign
of
you're on your way out. Not just contempt. That's the number one behavioral indicator that the relationship is going to end. And I think it's because it demonstrates you don't respect what they're saying. When you roll your eyes at somebody, you're demonstrating, I don't respect what they're saying, or I think they're lying. You know, you're already in a state of mind that it doesn't really matter what you say. I'm going to disagree with you, or I'm not trying to hear you out. I'm not trying to understand you at all.
Yeah.
And I think this guy who came in
a step further and just said, I hate you.
He came in at 2 a.m. and he whispered, I hate you.
I mean, I too, if I was dating a 37-year-old and they couldn't make pasta, maybe I would say I hate you.
I'm pretty sure he means he hates you.
There you have it, folks.
All right, that's pretty good.
Okay.
That's a wild guess, but you might just be right. And I'm going to take a wild guess and say the fight wasn't really about the pasta.
Yeah.
Bada bing, huh?
my God, babe, you're really on a roll here with the...
Of course I'm on a roll.
Italian.
Yes, he absolutely means it. That's freaking creepy and scary. It's not creepy and scary. It's just...
It's unnerving. No, if I was asleep and you had come into the room to look at me and whisper, I hate you, I'd be like, are you going to kill me next?
I guess. I think
it's unnerving.
I think it's a man who's really frustrated at his partner and he doesn't know how to express it and he's trying to like he's just trying to get it out.
You're not a child who's mad at your parents, so the worst thing you could say is like, I hate you.
Time to take your incorrectly cooked pasta and leave. I like that they're all roasting him for the pasta. I wonder what he whispers when you are actually asleep.
Ooh. See, he just heard this one.
Yeah.
Who knows what else he says
when
he's asleep? Who knows what he's writing in the journal, what he's telling his friends?
Yeah.
There is so much here. But you don't need to find out. You should just leave.
Here's a crazy comment. You ready for this? My terminally ill ex whispered to me one night, it should be you dying. He later tried to kill me. Believe him. Out! Get out! In the words of Jordan Peele.
Oh.
Got it?
God dang!
No! All right. My boyfriend, 30 male, has a close friend, 34 female, who blatantly dislikes me, 29 female, and makes no secret of it. I've reached a stage where it's her or me. How can I confront my boyfriend? Let's see. I don't know if I'm being wildly unreasonable and jealous over this, so I need some outside opinions. I have been with my boyfriend for 3 years, and we share an apartment. He has a female friend, Nell, and they were friends for years before I came along. I had no issue with their closeness. I have male friends and knew I'd be a hypocrite to leap to judgments, but at this point, I feel like I'm justified in thinking the way I do about her. The first time I met her, it was extremely obvious Nell didn't like me. She came into the bar all excited to see my boyfriend. Before noticing me, her entire demeanor changed. She shook my hand and dug her nails into my skin. Before ignoring me the rest of the night. What is she, freaking Wolverine?
Girl. She wants her man.
Well, yeah.
She wants her man.
I mean, obviously, let's
keep reading.
She even seemed upset at one point that I took the seat beside my boyfriend and quietly left halfway through the evening without saying goodbye. So it's safe to say my first impression of her wasn't good, but I tried to reason with myself that not everyone gets along, and I don't need to be friends with my boyfriend's friends. Well, you don't need to be, but
it's always nice to be able to integrate with your partner's friend group.
Yeah.
Also, I think it is very important for me personally to see how my partner is around my friends because I love and trust my friends, and their opinion matters to me of my partner. So if they're able to mesh well, that's a good sign. I'm curious to know how she is with his other friends. Like if his other friends like her, no problem, then it's like, okay, this woman seriously has an issue. But if all of her boyfriend's friends are like, then maybe it might be her. But let's keep reading. Digging your nails into someone's hands, though, is crazy.
That's. I'm always like scouring for benefit of the doubt stuff, and this is kind of tough because like even if you had longer nails, like shake my hand. Even if you had longer nails, there's no way. Like
I could. You'd have to do that.
You would have to actively engage.
You'd have to.
But it is interesting how a handshake can kind of communicate. It really is. A lot. Yeah, it really is interesting.
Digging your nails into someone is and then on top of that, ignoring them and being visibly upset and disinterested in their presence is quite clear.
Let's keep going.
Reading,
however, as time passed, it became really clear Nell's attitude towards me wasn't improving. She had a way of openly mocking me in front of groups. Oh, that's nice. I love that. For the boyfriend should really figure that out.
Yeah.
And now it's on the guy for sure. It's not on you.
Also, side note, I wonder if some of this is like an age thing. Like this woman is 5 years older, which doesn't matter. But I'm trying to psychoanalyze here.
It's up to the boyfriend to like put his foot down.
Well, yeah, if your friend, like if I had one of my friends openly mocking you, making fun of you, being disrespectful to you, I'd be like, the is that?
Yeah,
what's good?
To them or to me?
To them.
And you would bring it up to me too, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, I think I'd probably want to handle it first because I wouldn't.
Really?
I'd want to handle it because I wouldn't. Who wants to hear that someone doesn't like them?
So you would address them directly first.
Yeah.
That's cool. Wow. That's cool. She had a way of openly mocking me in front of groups of people, making side comments or loudly joking about my voice or appearance. My boyfriend would stand there and say nothing, and after the fact, when I asked him about it, he'd say he hadn't noticed. Okay, he's got blinders on. She'd also make a show of hugging him hello and goodbye and not me. Oh, that's cruel, isn't it?
Okay, the theory... I hate for this to be the theory, but I really think she wants your boyfriend.
Yeah, which is like, it seems obvious, right?
Right, because maybe they've been friends for a while. And because I actually have been in a scenario like this where years and years ago, I had started dating my boyfriend at the time. And we all worked together. And he had a coworker who was she was significantly older than the both of us. And they had been friends. They had been working at the company longer. They had been friends for a while. And he had said like, oh, I think she might have feelings for me, but I don't know. And then when we started dating, she suddenly, like, she wasn't outwardly mean to me, but she was not with me. Like, she was not very friendly. It's because maybe she thought, she's like, it's going to be us. It's going to be the friends to lovers arc. And then this girl came into the picture and she's like, she's in the way.
And maybe he was flirting with her before you came along.
Maybe. Now we're being messy. We're just injecting.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, shit, that's the whole point.
Yeah, we're being messy.
I'm trying to be
messy. We're going to be messy.
You know, maybe they fucked. No.
Oh.
She'd also make a show of hugging him hello and goodbye, not me. She would mix that kind of stuff in with smiles and basic politeness, so it was tough to articulate exactly what she'd done. I felt very much like I was back in high school. From that point on, I basically decided I didn't need to have someone like that in my life, so just stopped going to things she was at. I haven't seen her in about a year. My boyfriend still sees her regularly, and they text often. Yeah, this is kind of an ultimatum. I'm not a big fan of ultimatums. I'm not, but at some point, if you feel like you're being disrespected over and over again, and your partner is allowing for you to be disrespected over and over again, then you have to put your foot down and be like, it is, now it's time.
Because he should be standing up for her.
Totally.
If she's being openly... Yeah. Also, why would you want to keep hanging out with a friend that openly mocks your partner? And it's not like this is a new person. They live together, been together for a few years. They obviously love each other, I would assume.
Why would splitting rent.
Yeah. I mean... And they're 29 and 30. Maybe there's a future in mind. Maybe a greater commitment is to be made. And is she going to be invited to the wedding?
Right. That's a whole thing. Do we have anyone to object?
Right.
And then freaking, you know, she's out there. I love you. I always have. That's how she sounds at 34. I'm now at the stage where I fully believe they've either dated in the past or they have something going on now.
Okay. My issue would just be it's with someone who doesn't like me and makes it quite clear.
Have you... Here we go. This is what it is.
Okay.
I've tried gently bringing this up, but he denies they've ever dated and makes me feel like I'm being jealous and bitter by asking. I end up suppressing those feelings before something brings them up again. I've reached the end of my tether with it. So, well, have you tried going, have you guys ever dated? Or have you gone, just so you know, she's treating me really poorly? Because that's a different conversation.
That's a different thing. Saying your friend has been disrespectful to me in the past
is a fact versus an accusation.
Yeah.
If you're speaking with facts, then that's something.
And dating that's a different thing.
And it's a different dynamic too.
Yeah.
The final straw came for me the other day when my boyfriend left his phone up. Oh! Was it LinkedIn?
It wasn't left open.
That's so.
It was left open. It was right there.
It was an open phone. The final straw came for me the other day when my boyfriend left his phone open and I saw a text exchange between the two. Nell is the woman, right? Yes. Nell had sent him a heart emoji. Great. And my boyfriend written something about how he was thinking of her. I know I should have said something then and there, but I felt numb and decided to go to bed. I'm trying to work out how to handle this. Is it possible nothing's going on here? It's something I've tried arguing in my head, but then something else pops up that makes me doubt it. Maybe friends do just send hearts and I'm making this up because I don't care for Nell.
She doesn't care for you, and so that's why you don't like her. I mean, I don't really send hearts to my friend. I mean, I'll be like,
you can like,
love you so much, heart.
You can like people's stories. That's a friend.
Yeah.
And then does that read as a heart on the receiving end?
I think she's talking about a text message where this woman sent a heart emoji and then he said, I've been thinking about you, which I don't think I've ever had that text exchange with someone I haven't had romantic interactions with.
What about they're playing with fire here? They're definitely like dancing with the devil over there. And
I don't trust it.
Yeah, they're definitely not.
I don't trust it.
It's not fully innocent, I don't think.
No.
And it's at the very least, it's borderline flirtatious.
It's a little too flirty for people in monogamous relationships.
Yeah. Is it possible nothing's going on here?
Sure.
Yeah, that's possible.
Also possible that something is.
They're not they on the deal. I'm basically at a point where I feel he either has to tell me the truth and restrict contact with Nell, or else I don't feel like I can maintain the relationship. I feel constantly disrespected is the word. And I want something to change, but don't know how to go about it. Any advice would be so welcomed.
I think I don't know how clear she's communicated to him, hey, your friend Nell, it makes me a little uncomfortable that you guys hang out so much because she has openly disrespected me, mocked me in front of groups of people. Yeah. It's clear she doesn't like me. Yeah. And I would hope that you, as my partner and someone who loves and respects me, would have a problem with that and you would want to handle it, what do you have to say?
Yeah, your tribe says a lot about you. And also, like she might be acting nasty towards you because the boyfriend is complaining about you all the time. You ever think of that?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like he's like, oh, the old ball and chain.
Yeah, and then she's like,
free him.
She's like, as a woman, I'm gonna put my foot down and show her what's what or whatever.
And especially if she already doesn't like the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because of that, or because she has feelings for
him. Exactly.
And she's just like,
woman.
he's locked down in this situation and he's not happy, and one day he's gonna be free and then we'll be together. I'm feeling like it's a little bit.
I think I agree with Eva. I think the correct move in speaking to a man in general is like try your hardest to say the exact facts.
Don't ask too many questions because they always pick just one.
And don't assume too much either. I think just say, I've observed she's been ignoring me. She did this and that. Be very specific in what you've observed, and then go, I need you to understand this is a make or break for me. I wish I brought it up sooner. We're now at that stage. You either got to put her on ice for good, or we should talk about how you're going to get the out of my apartment.
Oh. I don't think it needs to go like that.
I do.
Oh.
To be honest, I don't think there's a point in giving him an ultimatum, as I don't think he will choose you. Or if he did, he would resent you for it and make you feel even more crazy. That is true. Ultimatums are a great way, unless you have like full faith in your partner's ability to handle the situation. I hate ultimatums. I think they're awful. But in this situation, this is like one of the only...
I actually don't think ultimatums are necessary in this scenario. I think the first thing you do is just say, this is how it's making me feel. It's making me feel terrible and disrespected. And your partner's response to that will tell you everything you need to know. If they have defenses for it, or they're like, it's not a big deal, or that's my friend, or they don't respect you. And so at that point, why are you with them? How your partner reacts to you expressing your feelings to them will tell you everything you need to know. If you say, this makes me feel away, and they just get defensive or make up excuses, I've been in that situation, then that person isn't your person, because your partner should, if you're being reasonable, your partner should want to be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry you're feeling like that. I want to change something. I want to make it better. What can I do? Make it productive rather than destructive. I feel like ultimatums can be a little destructive, and they can make people resentful.
To be honest, I don't think there's a point in giving him an ultimatum, as I don't think he would choose you. Or if he did, he would resent you for it and make you feel even more crazy. He never noticed how Nell treats you and never calls her out on it. When you point it out, he makes you feel like you're jealous and crazy instead of working with you and implementing healthy boundaries. You have to repress your feelings about the relationship because of how he makes you feel whenever you try to bring it up. This is not a partner that will choose you because he never has.
Oh my God, put those dogs away, babe. No fee for free! No fee for free!
He chooses Nell. Whenever Nell hurt your feelings, he chose to endorse her actions by not standing up for you. Whenever you point something out, he chose to protect Nell and make you feel like you were jealous and bitter. He's always been in her corner, endorsing and enforcing. Endorsing and enforcing?
Endorsing and enforcing.
What are you, Eminem? Endorse, enforcing, abortion. Got a portion of porridge. I'm like the three little bears. I got a blonde in a Ford.
You act extra crazy when you have no shoes on.
Everybody does. I think I just look more crazy.
You do.
My real Florida comes out. My power.
He's wearing Birkenstocks and he slipped his feet out of them.
The Birks contain my power. They're like a force field.
Let's read on, babe.
I got a potion in motion, blowing past my flotion, rubbing it in my skin. I'm gonna begin again. My husband's family keeps referring to me as his best friend. What does this mean? I think.
Oh, she said my husband Robbie. She named him.
Well, but he could be. His real name is probably Brett. It's a lie. I think the in-laws. If your mom and dad were like, you're her best friend, That's sweet. It could be sweet.
But let's read on. I feel like it's not that.
My husband, Robbie, and I got married earlier this year. It was a beautiful day, and I felt so much love and support from both sides of our family. Okay, so approval, happiness all around. Nice wedding. 2 months after our wedding day, we celebrated my birthday at my in-laws' house. It was nothing major, just a dinner and a night together with me, my husband, and his mom, dad, and sister. This is the first night I noticed them referring to me as Robbie's best friend so far.
Well, they were at the wedding, so what is this about?
And approval.
It's not like you're the secret girlfriend and he's just lying and be like, this is my friend.
Yeah. This is the first night I noticed them referring to me as Robbie's best friend. After my birthday dinner, we were all sitting together in the living room just chatting and having some drinks, and that's when my sister-in-law got a phone call from a good friend of hers. When she answered the phone and her friend asked what she was doing, she replied that it was her brother's best friend's birthday. Okay, that's where it gets a little weird.
Odd.
I had never heard anyone refer to me as Robbie's best friend. I am his wife, and before that, we were engaged for over 2 years. Hearing my sister-in-law refer to me like that confused me greatly. This might be something where it's like in family lingo, and they've been just doing that for a while and not like sharing it with you.
I don't know. I feel like you would know that. Because wouldn't they then be referring to everyone else's serious significant other as best friends? If she's been with him for a couple years.
Engaged for a couple years.
Engaged for a couple years. So dating for a couple years before that.
Yeah.
Is this a high school relationship?
You know what I think?
Is this a high school sweetheart situation?
I feel like during the wedding, during the vows, they were probably like, you're my best friend.
I don't, like if we said that to each other, my mom isn't going to be on the phone with her friend being like, oh, Eva's best friend is here, and she's referring to you.
Yeah, that's so
weird.
They're latching onto something. I wonder why.
That's weird.
I always refer to her as my sister-in-law, and I would expect her to do the same, or maybe even as Robbie's wife, but certainly not best friend. After my sister-in-law hung up her phone, I asked her why she referred to me the way she did. She did not seem at all abashed. She just said, well, you're best friends, and that's what mom and dad call you, referring to mother-in-law, father-in-law. My sister-in-law and I are by no means very close, but we are very nice to each other and have never had any fights. We just don't hang out outside of family functions because our personalities are pretty different. She's never made it seem like she was annoyed or mad at me. It's a lingo thing. You know why? I was in a relationship for a long time, 4+ years, where the girl combined my first name and my last name together when we first met. Mm-hmm. And she called me Dasher for 4.5 years.
Well, that's different because that's a nickname, and
her whole family and I asked politely, I was like, I don't like being called that. Please call me Daniel. The girl and her entire family only called me Dasher.
Well, is this woman's nickname best friend?
Internally to the family, I think so.
There's a whole other paragraph. So
I think there's an inside joke. That's what I think. That's my theory.
I think if it was explained away as an inside joke, I don't think we'd be here on Reddit.
Okay, let's see. I decided to let it go that night, even though it weirded me out. But then it all happened again a few days ago, which is why I'm writing this post. My mother-in-law and I work both in the same industry doing similar jobs, but at different companies in the area. Sometimes our companies collaborate when we have clients who switch over. This week we had that happen, and I had to pay a visit to my mother-in-law's office to help a client transition. My mother-in-law was in the office, so I stopped by to say hello. While I was there, she introduced me to her colleague, and once again, I was perplexed by how she did it. She said, "This is my son's best friend," as I was shaking hands with the colleague. I paused and awkwardly said, "I'm his wife." The colleague looked confused, but my mother-in-law continued to smile and didn't. It's an inside joke.
I think these people are weird.
Yeah, that's all. I don't think it's malicious.
No, not malicious.
It's just weird.
Why are you... Some things are just facts, and to introduce someone as, this is my son's best friend, and to someone who doesn't know them, inside jokes within the family, okay, but you're introducing her to someone who doesn't know her, and you're giving and saying best friend, that's his wife.
Once we were alone, I asked my mother-in-law why she referred to me like that. Just like my sister-in-law, she didn't seem to act like it was weird at all and said the same thing. Well, you're best friends. The only thing that I can think of to explain
Don't piss me off. What?
I got it. I predicted it. The only thing that I can think to explain this is that in my vows to Robbie, I promised to continue being his best friend. Nobody acted like this was odd or special. I feel like it's a pretty common thing to put in vows, totally. So I'm not sure why Robbie's family seems to have clung to it unless it has nothing to do with everything.
I'm sorry. I'm so confused. Okay, yeah, very sweet, very cute to refer to each other as each other's best friends in your vows. That's really sweet. But why is your family... Because that's just not true. Because, I'm sorry, in terms of relationships, like where they stand in terms of significance in your life, I would think the spouse has a little more... That's like the government, right? Your spouse ranks a little higher than your best friend.
A weird analogy. But
I know, but like...
The
why,
government?
Like, well, to be like, this is my son's best friend.
Oh, you mean...
one thing versus this is my son's wife. Like,
you
that's
mean a government title.
Yeah, like this is... I just think in terms of why you clung to best friend when that's his spouse. Like, doesn't that have a little more gravitas than best friend? That feels so weird.
Yeah, gravy taste.
I think these people are just weird.
My thinking is that they're from a small town and they've never heard somebody go, "You're my best friend," and they were like, "Oh my god, that's so sweet," and then they attach to
each other.
Well, yeah, on every sitcom since the 2000s, like, or whatever.
But why are you introducing her like that?
Because they're blind. They don't have social. You know what I mean? They don't have social.
I don't know. Let's
acuity.
keep reading.
I've spoken to Robbie about this too, and he's also perplexed by it. He asked his parents privately about it, and they gave him the same answer they've been giving me. It all just seems like sort of a bullying behavior to me, but I've never felt a sense of this from them before. Are they calling me his best friend because they don't like the fact that I'm his wife, or is it some inside joke? That's what I'm thinking. They've been in on without me. I'm not sure what to do or make of it, especially because the in-laws are acting like it's not an issue when I bring it up. Yes, I am Robbie's best friend, but I'm also his life partner and their daughter-in-law / son-in-law. I don't know what to do. Any input or advice would be welcome, and there's an update. Should we read these or should we go to the update?
Well, it's just so funny to be like, no one's being mean to me, but I'm feeling bullied.
I get it. I get being addressed as something that you don't like being addressed as. I understand, being called Dasher for 4 years was weird to me.
Also, it's like, I married this person. Call me the wife. Why am I being demoted to best friend? Best friend, beautiful sentiment. But the fuck? Maybe she should just go, hey, don't refer to me as that. I don't like it.
I think maybe she has to verbalize that.
Also, the inside joke. Why are you including random people in your office into the inside joke and they don't even know it's an inside joke? So now everybody's confused.
It's like a little virus. The top comment here says, how about just being straightforward? Yes, Robbie and I are best friends, but now that we're married, I would prefer that you refer to me as his wife, as I treasure our relationship. Thank you. That's all it is. They don't know that they're being offensive until you expressly go, hey, I would actually prefer you introduce me as his wife. Is that okay? All right, here's an update.
Wait, what's the update? Yeah.
Here we go. Thanks to everyone who offered helpful advice. And to those who've been kind in sharing their own experiences, I'm sorry to hear that this is not exactly a unique experience. Unfortunately for my relationship with Robbie's family, shit has hit the fan. Okay. No, stop. Yesterday afternoon, Robbie and I were invited over to his parents' house for dinner. I have a big project due this week at work, so I decided to stay home and wrap it up. I told Robbie to go catch up with his family while I order a pizza. Pizza. Apparently, this is when Robbie decided he was going to set things straight and figure out why his mom and sister kept referring to me as his best friend.
See, this is a partner that is getting down to business when people are being weirdly disrespectful to you.
Because y'all mert.
Yeah, you're mert.
Y'all mert.
You're married.
Robbie had a normal dinner with his folks, but they were all drinking a bit more than usual. Robbie decided to bring over some scotch that one of his groomsmen gave him for a wedding gift. So him and his dad were especially loose. Robbie and his dad tend to have guy time together after dinners where they hang out in his dad's garage and talk about car stuffs and projects at home/work. This is where Robbie confronted his dad about the whole situation. See, the word confront doesn't need to be used. Confront seems serious. This is a very non-serious thing.
Well, let's read on because apparently this got serious.
From what I can tell, it took some coaxing to get this information out of the father-in-law, but eventually he admitted to Robbie that my mother-in-law and son-in-law and him were all in some sort of bet as to how long mine and Robbie's marriage was going to last. Father-in-law bet that we would stay together, whereas mother-in-law bet less than 1 year and sister-in-law bet less than 6 months. Apparently there was a cash prize involved. I don't really want to know how much it was.
Pause.
That's so disrespectful.
That is crazy.
That's so rude.
That is nasty and rude.
Did y'all have a toxic relationship before this?
Yeah, like what now I need to know more. What is the dynamic of your relationship that the people closest to him in his life are making bets like this?
Why do they think that? It's very mean.
That's terrible. To make a joke of divorce is serious. To make a joke of it and that's your child.
Yeah.
To be like, he, let's see how long this lasts. That's not marriage.
With a cash prize. That means they're serious. That means they're serious about it. Does that mean that you saying best friend equals like you're trying to push her away?
Or they think well, I'm sure they'll explain it, but my hypothesis is best friend. They think maybe you guys are actually on the rocks and they're like, yeah, right. Best friend.
Father-in-law admitted that he believes the whole best friend moniker was a way to get under my skin and cause doubts about my relationship with Robbie and his family.
What?
That's what I said. That's what I'm saying. They were saying that to push her away so they could win the money. That's Machiavellian.
Whoa. You need to get away from these people. Y'all need to move.
If you were intentionally driving a wedge between husband and wife by referring to her as best friend as an intentional way to get under her skin and cause doubts about the relationship, like that's so evil.
Yeah.
That's just bad. That's Cruella de Vil type shit. They think that if they acted like it was a non-issue for long enough that it would drive me okay, so they wanted to that's literally
This
gaslighting.
is gaslighting. What the fuck?
That it would drive me crazy and start making me angry at Robbie for not intervening. That's insane.
Well, he a real one, and he's intervening.
Robbie then says he stormed into the house to confront his mom about this all. Yes, correct.
Yeah.
It ended in a screaming match between Robbie, mother-in-law, and father-in-law. Yes, correct, I guess. Robbie eventually stormed out and walked to a nearby gas station, and from there he called me for a ride since he couldn't drive because they were drinking. This morning when I drove Robbie back to get his car, we had a horribly awkward confrontation with his parents. Mother-in-law is apparently pissed at father-in-law for betraying the secret. Who cares? It's a stupid secret. It's
so and because they look so terrible.
You look horrible.
You look horrible.
Because you did
terrible.
A horrible thing.
Yeah. No, good that the dad got loose-lipped and spilled the beans.
Yeah.
Because now they know your guys' true colors.
Totally, which is so stupid.
Oh my God.
And they were fighting about it all night. Father-in-law will be staying with us in our extra bedroom for a couple days.
No.
Why? The father-in-law was on their side. The father-in-law
was he on their side?
Yeah. The father-in-law said that they thought they were going to stay married. He was a part of the bet, but the father-in-law.
He thought so he was rooting for them.
Father-in-law bet that we would stay together.
I take back what I said. Father-in-law can stay in the guest
So he
bedroom.
probably wasn't doing the best friend thing, is my guess. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It was the sister-in-law and the mother-in-law who were doing that.
Which is so bad. Father-in-law will be staying with us in our extra bedroom for a couple of days or until they can calm down and talk to each other again. Robbie is now set on going no contact with his mom and sister. He's angry with his father, but is more willing to forgive him. Personally, I would prefer if we saw a family therapist before doing this, but we are still ironing out the details. Hopefully we can go through this with both marriages both marriages.
Oh.
Because the father and the mom are having, she's like, you told on me.
Crazy how when you root for someone's downfall, that sometimes comes right back to you.
You ever heard of Kermit?
Kermit?
You ever heard of
Kermit?
Kermit? Okay, so this is a big old case of around to find out.
Yeah. Well, I want to see what the people have to say. I mean,
what do you have to say before the people? Let's go into that.
Fuck this family.
Yeah. While the way they're treating you is abhorrent and not something I would do to a stranger or even someone I dislike, it's a whole nother level of messed up to try to sabotage.
Yeah, it's not even the bet and see what happens. It's
they're making
do
choices.
Something to push people over the edge.
That's literally gaslighting.
Because you want money.
And how much money is it? $100? You're doing this over $1,000 maybe?
$100.
Y'all better relax.
$1,000. I understand.
No.
I'm kidding.
No. Wow, listen, if your husband is set on going to
no contact.
I thought I was thinking North Carolina.
North Carolina?
Well, listen, if your husband is set on going no contact with his mom and sister, respect his decision. You seem like you're trying to play peacemaker, but they have horribly disrespected you in your marriage. What they did was all kinds of messed up. Even father-in-law is an asshole for his part in it, even though he was the only one on your side, sort of. Family therapy only works and helps if all parties are involved and willing to try, but it frankly sounds like the women hate you, want you gone, and will never give you or your marriage a chance. This is not always true. This is not forever true.
But why?
It looks like that now, but they're going to have to grow through that.
It's more likely than not that it is that.
What did you say?
It is more likely than not that the women in his family don't like her. And the dad's just like,
totally. Yeah.
I want to get in on some money.
You know what I think this is? I think this is a classic case of when you two started dating, you might have had a little bit of a rocky situation where he said some stuff that was probably true in your relationship to the mom and to the sister.
Which, if you want it to work out,
don't do that.
Unless there's bad things happening.
Like horrible things.
Don't complain about your partner to your parents.
Yes.
Because they will never forget that.
They won't. They'll latch on.
Or your best friend, nobody.
That's what I think
If your
happened.
partner's being annoying, don't tell people about it if you want to stay with them.
Yeah.
Because they will remember it.
Pick your battles. When you're early in your dating career, do not complain about your partner unless you want other people to dislike your partner. That's what happens.
Yeah, or this could be a situation where literally there was nothing wrong, obviously, with their relationship, and they just hated her vibe.
Yeah, which is
like your vibe sucks.
Which is crazy.
For no reason.
That's what I think happened, though.
Because, of course, people are like, oh, nobody is good enough for my little boy.
Right. Especially when they sound like the witch from The Wizard of Oz.
Yes. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. Anyway.
Outro!